Talking to people we work with is the basis of management, yet often it's something we fail to do properly. Hi, my name is Tomasz and I'm a former tech lead and manager. Today I want to talk about conducting one-on-one conversations with the folks you manage. One on one is a cyclical meeting. It happens every week or every 2 weeks and takes roughly 30 minutes. It's up to you to decide how often you should meet with your team members. I like to do it weekly, but sometimes, if the team is large, I schedule one meeting every 2 weeks, but inform everyone that this can be more frequent if they want. The biggest mistake you can do during this meeting is making it about yourself to try and squeeze or ask for a project update or provide criticism right from the start. This meeting is not for you. You are here to listen, not to speak. I like to open my one on ones with a bit of a small talk. A simple but honest how you've been doing goes a long way. After talking to a person a couple of times, you will know what clicks with them, what they like, and what they detest. Resist the urge to say, that's great, but get this, and inject your own story. Again, you are here to listen, and it's a short meeting. You can relate, but injecting your story will take the precious time that is better utilized if you let the other person speak. I had a colleague that was a tremendous Marvel fan, and I am basically the last person to talk about these movies because I don't really understand them. But he wanted to talk about Iron Man and latest Avengers, so we did. And he described me tons and tons of plot. I tried to follow along and commenting once in a while to show him that I am paying attention. These short talks about why Hulk is the unsung hero of the Avengers squad or how Tony Stark grew up between movies didn't tell me much about our project, but it did tell me tremendously lot about the guy. I knew his passion. I was able to tap into it and make a connection. From there, it was way easier for him to open up about things more related to our work. One on one is a casual meeting. People rarely prepare unless they have something really important to talk about. That's why I like to have several starters to spark the conversation and get some knowledge while at it. The most important question here is, was there anything important in the past week? Most of the time they will say no, but once in a blue moon you will hear something like, yes, there was this thing, or actually, now that I think about it, there is that thing. That can take even the entire meeting, and this is completely fine. If it's that important, the best you can do is listen and take notes. Apart from the most important thing, I like to ask about what they like and what they don't like now. What was the best thing that happened this week? What was the worst? This can show you and your team what you did good, but more importantly, it will show you what you need to work on. Every once in a while, maybe every 3 months, I like to tap into the person's future in the organization. Did you think about your career path? Most developers will refuse, and that's your job to steer them. But if they do know, it's again up to you to verify their plans and help them materialize. Last but certainly not least is the feedback request. Can you tell me how I am doing is a tough question, but a necessary one. It shows that you are here for them and the feedback is valued. A lot of people will not tell you anything on the first few or even several meetings, but eventually you start to hear what you did wrong. In here, there are two important things. Don't apologize for everything and utilize the feedback. If you keep saying, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, I'm sorry, it will both seem insincere and will prompt people just to bash you more. But every criticism has some truth in it, and you should take a long, hard look at anything you've heard. Are you too harsh? Are you too easygoing? Maybe you're joking too much, like I am, or maybe your jokes, like mine, are too rough. These things require work, but people will notice, and it will validate you in their eyes, seeing that you've taken the feedback to heart and started to work on it. One of the best one on ones I had in my whole career was with the guy that gave me some really rough critique. He underlined that I was very demanding and acting out of my character, suddenly pushing the team way harder than normally. It was a real eye opener, but it was also one of the nicest things I've ever had in my job. It was this pure sign of trust and understanding that they can tell me everything. Most of the time, people are afraid of providing negative feedback to their managers. Hearing this, very negative yet very well deserved, showed me that I did my job right and people aren't afraid to tell me when I drop the ball. Listening to people is a skill that you can work on and one that pays tremendously. It's important to try and read between the lines. If someone is complaining about the tasks which they are doing with a certain person, maybe it's not the task, but the person is the issue. If they are complaining about the rent or inflation, maybe it's time to revise their pay. Saying things right off the bat is hard, and a lot of people struggle with it. They prefer saying things in a hidden kind of way, and it's your job to dig into this. It takes time and patience, but it's something extremely important. Take notes of everything they say. I know it feels like you're being insincere, but these are your private notes. You are not showing them to anyone, it's just to make sure you're not missing anything. And it will help you as you go on. When I am taking notes, I always say so, but I underline that I do this in my private notebook and these are only for me. It's important to make people know that the conversations you are having are absolutely private. After every cycle, that is talking with everyone in the team, I would sit with my notes and summarize them. See which patterns are repeating, what observations emerge, what people are complaining about, what they love, what they detest, what things are actionable by me, and what needs to be taken to the upper management. It's also important to summarize individuals' meetings. Observe how often does a person talk about the same topic, what's repeating and what is one and done. Having this, you can tell if the person in question is actually happy in their position and how you should work with them. Having notes and summaries is useless without action points. Decide which issues can you solve and how to do it. Create a plan. People need to see that what they were saying have reflections in your actions, which in returns reflects on their day to day. If this won't happen, your one on ones will decline because your team won't have any reason to speak to you about their problems. As mentioned earlier, talking to people is a skill, often neglected but a crucial one for a manager. Winning people's trust and conducting honest one on ones is the key to having healthy relationship with the people you manage. Good luck talking and thank you very much for watching to the end.